what were you looking for specifically in that management company? What led you to Campbell?
Well, we looked at a lot of management companies. One of the things is they're local. They weren't too big. Some of these they're in Texas, they're all over the place. And Campbell's got a reputation of fitting what you want. In other words, you don't fit what they want. They come in and do what you want, as much or as little. And turned out we made the right choice, because that is the way they are. They will custom do your building. Whatever you want, that's what they do.
Nick, I actually saw that email you sent in saying, hey, Campbell can be very flexible with us. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about that. When I started to talk to my board colleagues about professional management, they were uninterested, and a couple of them actually said they would never live in a building where there was a professional management company. So I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting reaction. So actually my wife began doing some research, and while she was doing the research, I was attending a program that was at Becker. And when the Becker does the program, they have somebody who sponsors it. And usually the sponsor stands up for a really long time and tells how great they are. And I was kind of impressed, because the Campbell rep basically said, hi, we're from Campbell. We're basically here to help, and if there's anything we can do for you, let us know. Now let's get on with the program. And I thought, that's a pretty good approach, because they didn't need to blow their own horn. It was just straightforward. And then really what happened was that our manager at the time, perhaps somebody tipped him, whatever, he abruptly resigned and left saying, I'm going to give you 10 days of notice. But it basically wasn't 10 days of notice. I'm leaving today and I'm taking my vacation time. And so I actually made a couple of calls and called Campbell, and to me, I'm ever going to be grateful. Campbell's reaction was, we can help. Now there's nothing signed, there's nothing. Right. We can help, and I can have somebody there in a day or two to help you out to decide what you want to do. And I was amazed at that reaction.
Same thing they said at Becker's seminar.
They actually meant it.
Directly, right?
They actually meant it.
Yeah, that speaks volumes.
It speaks volumes, And so we then went through the process of, you want to not do a sole source. So we looked at other companies, much like you did. One of them was too large, too impersonal, and it was ridiculous. Another one reminded me of that old classic movie, The Stepford Wives, which is, this is how we do it, and everybody does it the same way, and our manager wears this, and we put this on the desk on the left and the right, and you get this and you get that. And I thought, man, I've just come from a pretty regimented lifestyle. I don't want that, and I don't want the building to look institutional. And so every place we looked, we were led back to Campbell as the source, because they basically said, it's your community, and we're going to do everything we can to make your community better. Where we have a suggestion, we're going to tell you about it. Where we have an improvement, we're going to do it. But it's up to you to decide how you want to do this.
So you still get to be
in charge. You get to be in charge. We're just going to help you.
That's important. I know, Jack, he said something that you were about ready to comment on. It sounded like it hit home.
It really hit home, because we interviewed a number of companies. But when we talked to Campbell, you felt like it was a family business. You felt like they were caring. They asked us more questions about our building than anyone else did, because they wanted to tailor it, as you said earlier. And they basically said, what kind of management do you want? How far do you want us to go? And we were able to come up with a solution that really worked perfectly for us. But it was that from the heart kind of caring that just sold it.
And you've experienced that all the way since 2019, correct? I mean, that approach that they have.
I've never, during this COVID crisis, I must be on the phone to our manager about 2 times a day. And all she does is research the project, talk to other people who have Campbell Management, which is so many, and you get a solution right away. It's amazing. And then during this crisis period, I don't know about you, but it's been a tough time to take away amenities and to slowly bring them back. But we just sailed through it.
Well, and one of the things that you brought up a great point there. During the COVID, you want a management company that treats you like a family, lets you still be in charge, but at the same time has the resources, has the connections, the assets to be able to bring the latest and the best to you. And you probably saw that with COVID. As you said, you call her, she comes back to you with the latest information.
Can you imagine what legal costs would be during COVID without Campbell? I mean, we don't need to call the lawyer every 10 seconds.
It's the wrong question here.
I'm
sorry, just-
I didn't mean it
We're
that
going
way.
to cut that out.
I know.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. That's a great point.
No, I mean, you just call them and they have the solutions for you. It saves you a lot of money. It saves every resident a lot of money. And navigating COVID was rough, but we had opinions out of common, we call it best practices. All we had to do was call them and find out what the best practices were.
Yeah. So Nick,